You're a plus size model, and for the first time in your life, you're feeding yourself regularly. You ever seen photos of those children in other countries who are starving? That's what it looks like when you haven't fed yourself regularly for your entire life. Coach Greg, and just when you think you've heard it all, Tess Holliday says she's anorexic. It's not April Fool's Day. I'm not making this up. She literally has gone to Twitter claiming anorexia nervosa. I know, it doesn't make any sense. You're going to go through the comments, going to see her reasoning, you're going to see what people are saying, and to say what I think, calling out the BS. I spent all morning thinking about this, reading up on it. I'm ready. Are you ready? So let's see where it all started. I'm anorexic and in recovery. I'm not ashamed to say it out loud anymore. I'm the result of the culture that celebrates thinness and equates that to worth. But I get to write my own narrative now. I'm finally able to care for a body that I punished my entire life, and I'm finally free. Finally free from anorexia. Punished her body her entire life. She is finally free. Oh, you don't know who Tess Holliday is. She's a plus size model. Round size 22, 5'5", maybe 300 pounds. Morbidly obese. She's so overweight that it's endangering her health, but she's suffering from anorexia nervosa, which clinically, medically means you're underweight. That'd be like someone saying, I'm an alcoholic. No, I don't drink. I don't drink, but I can't hold on a job. I have no money. My wife left me and I'm not there for my family. Want to escape reality. But you don't drink, so you can't say you're an alcoholic. You're not doing like the main part of it. Tess Holliday, come on. So she made that post and then read a bunch of the comments. She didn't like the comments, so she lashed out and then she posted this. Not the, but you're fat, how are you anorexic comments. Y'all don't know how science and the body works, huh? My technical diagnosis is anorexia nervosa, and yes, I'm still not ashamed. I'm too damn happy for y'all to even come close to dimming my shine. Tess, we're not trying to dim your shine, we're calling out the bullshit. When you say you have anorexia nervosa and you're morbidly obese, you are lying to people. Maybe you or your doctor don't know what the actual scientific definition is. So when people Google it and they discover you don't have anorexia nervosa and they make a comment saying you don't have that, you can't get mad at them and say, oh, you're not body positive. You're mean to me. Meh. No, you can't say that. They're just speaking facts. Wouldn't have what? The factual information? She said Google it, so I did. That is the literal definition of anorexia nervosa. Soon as you woke people hear something you don't like, which is most things, it's straight to the cancel button. So just because you're pointing out the truth, the facts of science, people start hating on you. You're not anorexic. I Googled it. You're not. Oh, hater. No, they're just educating you on the real definition. To have anorexia nervosa, you need to be abnormally thin. You need to have at least a BMI under 18.5. You need to be extremely thin. It is insulting to people suffering from anorexia nervosa to see someone 300 pounds say that they're anorexic. It's not cool. Google is the thing that exists. Use it. That's her response to people saying you're not anorexic. So they Google it. And they find the actual definition, and then they say what it is, and then they call them out for it. It's like, no, they did what you asked. It's impossible for you to have anorexia nervosa. The technical definition of anorexia nervosa is an eating disorder characterized by an abnormally low body weight, an intense fear of gaining weight, and a distorted perception of weight. There you have it, an abnormally low body weight. Last I checked, when you're morbidly obese, you're not skinny. Your diagnosis would be atypical anorexia if you even had it. You don't meet the criteria for anorexia nervosa, which implies the patient is underweight, You clearly are not. That is not an insult. That is just saying facts. That's like saying to someone 3 feet tall that they're not tall. It's obvious. Captain Obvious in the freaking house. So what do I think of all this? Well, here are the facts. You cannot become morbidly obese without being in a calorie surplus. You can't. You had to eat too many calories to get to be that size. If you undereat, you will lose weight. Every single human being on this world, if they starve themselves and don't eat, will eventually die. You can't sustain life without eating. So if Tess Holliday starved herself, stopped eating, or never ate enough, she would eventually die from being too thin. She is not too thin. She has not starved herself to that point. And listen, she may have starved herself for a brief period of time. She might have done it for a day, maybe a month, we don't know. She might have gone on a 500 calorie diet, but oftentimes that is in fact requested for people who are extremely overweight. They're so overweight that their weight is endangering their life. They have to starve themselves literally 500 calories a day to dramatically drop body fat so they can live. If she had done that, she'd lose 50 plus pounds in a month. Have you ever seen that show, My 600-Pound Life? The doctor says, hey, come back in a month. If you lost 50 pounds, we can do the surgery. They're on starvation diets very low. So just because you went on a diet and it didn't work doesn't mean you're anorexic. Yes, I get it. There's pressure to be thin. People keep commenting on your weight. When you lose weight, people say, oh, wow, you look good. You look better. You look thin. You're doing good. What are you doing? Are you on a diet? It's working. So you hear that and you're motivated to keep losing weight. But if you do it the wrong way, you just starve yourself, you stop eating, bad things are going to happen. But it's not called anorexia. It's called you failed on a diet. Ever heard of Amberlynn Reid? Imagine if she says, oh, I'm anorexic. I tried the Jenny Craig diet and I went anorexic and it didn't work. I was suffering and now I'm obese again. Doesn't work like that. Maybe you should try getting my cookbook. You ever thought of that? Rather than following these crash diets, why don't you get my cookbook? You can eat low-calorie, delicious foods. Lots of volume. You'll be full. You won't be starving. You can do it for the rest of your life. No, I'm just going to starve myself. A yo-yo diet. You need to do a diet you can sustain for the rest of your life. If you're starving yourself, you know you can't starve yourself forever. If you did, you die. Doesn't work. Get a better diet, the circle diet. Does that not make more sense? Why don't you give the cookbook a try? It won't even feel like, it doesn't feel like a diet because you're eating all the amazing foods you still want. You just lowered the calories. Calories in, calories out. All you need to do to lose weight is eat fewer calories. That's how it works. Yes, I've lost weight. I'm healing from an eating disorder and feeding my body regularly for the first time in my entire life. You're a plus-size model, and for the first time in your life, you're feeding yourself regularly. I've seen people who have fed themselves regularly for the first time in their life. You ever seen photos of those children in other countries who are starving? That's what it looks like when you haven't fed yourself regularly for your entire life. I find this insulting. It triggers me to see someone say, I'm feeding my body regularly for the first time in my entire life. When I know there's people who are starving, and you don't get to 300 pounds without feeding yourself regularly. If you don't feed yourself, it's called starving. You are not starving. Stop trying to get the sympathy of the people through body positivity. It's gone too far. Enough is a friggin' enough. It's it. It's enough. So the problem for me is this. She's trying to get sympathy and play on your emotions and say, oh, I have this eating disorder and feel bad for me, feel sorry for me. It's society is doing this to me. You've literally been paid to be a plus-size model. You make a living because of your size. You're supposed to be a role model for other people who are overweight. So you're saying you're body positive, love your body, accept yourself, but that you're starving yourself and unhappy. So let that be a lesson to all of those who are body positive. It's one thing to love your body. It's another thing to actually love your body. Love your body enough to be healthy, to move, to get off your ass, to eat healthy. There is a big difference. Don't kid yourselves. If you are not healthy, if you're morbidly obese, don't kid yourselves. If you are morbidly obese, it's not healthy. It is not healthy. Do something about it. Be body positive enough to love yourself enough to do something about it. Accept and love yourself. Yes, of course, love yourself. Everyone should, no matter who you are. But love yourself enough to make the change needed to be healthy. Ending it here. GregDoucette.com for coaching. Greg Doucette IB Pro. Bloops are there. Watch one of the bloops. Get the freaking cookbook. You know you need it. Hire me for coaching, the training books. And until next time, subscribe, click the bell button. Then I'm out. Have you ever seen that show, 600-Pound Weight Loss Journey? 600-Pound Weight Loss? It's not any of those, I don't think.